everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and you're tuned in to Madden 18 on EA Sports. The winding road to the Super Bowl continues here in the divisional round, where two teams look to take another step towards the Super Bowl. It's the Panthers going up against the Redskins.
All right, Larry, we are due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Ahead will decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game, as we've got a great one in store between the Carolina Panthers and the Washington Redskins. On 1st and 10, Newton. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Gun, Newton. And his throw is incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Third and long, it's Newton. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. They were trying to liven up this playoff game very early on. Pretty deep throw, but good coverage.
I think they were counting on the defenders being a little tight, a little over-anxious early, and trying to catch them flat-footed and get a big play.
They'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Marshall. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. They go play action here on 1st down. Flushed out right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Here we go, Ohio!
the gun. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. They control the clock, they control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Flex round! Come on, let's go! What? Ohio! Come on, let's go! Flex round! Ohio! Flex round! Flex round! Check.
The tight end changing his position.
Switch! Ohio! Out. Check 4.
On third down. That's Marshall. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on fourth down. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
Come on, let's go!
They'll run for it with Marshall, and he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. A first carry for Samaje Perine. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. That good for 22 and a first down.
I'm still an old-school football guy, and anytime you see a big-time running play, that fires me up. And if I'm on offense right now, in the position they're in now, inside the 10-yard line, I think after the way they've run it, they've set themselves up for a good play-action pass opportunity right here.
Again, here's Perine. And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game.
And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. A great effort there. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead. And all the pressure that goes on in these playoffs, but the first score here in the divisional round always very key.
Partner, this team handled it like it was a regular season game, that they were confident in what they were doing, came right out and established themselves early.
Gano out to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Offense in a good spot here, 2nd and 2. They stay on the ground. This is Marshall again. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's got room. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there. 63 yards. And the Redskins are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12. They'll run again with Pirine. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught inside the 25. A big 3rd down play there for the Panthers. 56 yards. With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That was a nice play by the defense, but the offense can't let that one play define them. Let it go, move on, and start over again.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. Setting up the screen to Pirine. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
And he's got his man. It's Samuel. Touchdown, Carolina. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain him.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, You can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
A very good move, but for a short gain out near the 32. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. Looking to throw. Marshall. Throw left side complete. That's Hamilton. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
Throwing on first down. Marshall. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line.
Now this is playoff football. I mean, what a big-time tackle. Perfectly executed with a little extra emphasis there.
And got him for a loss as well. Off play action. Marshall. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Operating from the gun. Marshall forced out to his left. Jordan Reed has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Give him 30 yards there.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Down right around the 25. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let him down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff him for a loss. He may try and run for this, and he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 1:59 to go in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. And Hopkins' kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
It's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And the Panthers coming out now. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan, and Thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. 3-4 defense, usually here you'll see the linebackers come up, make those plays, but the nose tackle also vital.
That was so vital because what you just pointed out, normally he eats up blockers that allows the linebackers to get to the ball carrier. In this case, he did his job and then some, and there was no gain at all for the runner.
Now Newton. He's going to get his man out of the backfield, complete. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So the D-line's going to spread out. On first down, it's Newton. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. To throw again. Newton. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And, oh, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Now a play fake here on first down. Dancing to his left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Here's Newton now on second down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Newton. Going to throw deep for the ends, and he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
It's good, and it's 21-10. Gano out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Redskins. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Now they'll run it on the toss. A little juke. And now running right through him. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
Getting out a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. The Redskins on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Let's go.
From the gun, Marshall. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first.
Here we go.
Operating from the gun, Marshall. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Marshall. He's going to float this over the middle deep. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Redskins have made this a one-score game. And he's got it to make this a 21-17 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he is knocked down from the side at the 19. Carolina getting set to take the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. A final shot before the break. Newton. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup, as we'll send you down the coast to Orlando, where we check in with our friend Larry Ridley and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry, so both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Flex round. Let's go.
And here's Marshall. Nice move at the 40. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Come on, let's go. Grand 38. Grand 38.
And to give this time to the tailback. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards there as they move the chains. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
This is Marshall. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What do I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. On third down, it's Marshall. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2, and it brings up fourth.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on third down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed him for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They start on the ground with Pirine. And some room to maneuver. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns them a fresh set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Now Pirine. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Now a play fake, and it's Newton. It's brought in by Harris. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back at the 46. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. From the 50, Newton. Escaping the pressure right. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away. They
fake the give. Newton. And he It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. They have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Touchdown, Carolina! A great play there. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Panthers add on to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Gano out to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill out the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Redskins with the football, but trailing here as we get down to the good stuff. Quarter number 4. The Redskins on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Here we go.
They'll run with Marshall. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Now Marshall, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. The Redskins on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Let's go.
Back to throw. Marshall. And Reed with it over the middle. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
There's a good push to the tight end, and I think they were looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
This will be caught inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Flex round! Flex round! Here we go!
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Keith Marshall, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Redskins are within a 2-point conversion of tying this game. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Looking to throw. Marshall buying time to his left. And he will get into the end zone for 2. And this game now tied here in the 4th. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more. Play action. Newton steps away to his left. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
Was trying to extend the life of that play, wasn't he? Got out of the pocket, ended up scrambling off to his left, trying to find anyone open downfield to try and make a big-time play.
Thought he had an opening there for a second, but that window closed pretty quickly. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Newton. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Hitting the home stretch here in a great game, a tie game. Let's see if the defense can get the stop they need to get the ball back.
Here we go!
And he'll give it here to his running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Tie game late, and the offense really has to be conscious of the clock here as it's becoming a factor late in this ball game. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go. Back to throw. Marshall. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
Now a carry for Pirine. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. Defense showing blitz. On 2nd down, here's Newton. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Harris. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. To throw on 2nd down. Newton eluding the pressure right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7. Newton. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. And he has the 1st down before he's tackled at the 5. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. 5 yards to go for the offense. 1st down and goal from that 5-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
I know a lot of people won't like the draw called in that situation, but every now and then that pops big. In this case, it didn't happen.
And they're definitely showing blitz here. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
And he'll take this one down inside the 5 to the 3. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. They'll go to Pirine, trying to pound it in. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal.
Now that was a big stop on 3rd down, and this is where head coaches make their money and answer the question right here and now. Do you kick the field goal for the 3 points, or do you go ahead and try and grab yourself a touchdown lead?
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. Well, sometimes you get a mismatch in these divisional round games. Not here. This has been everything we could have hoped for.
Okay, Brandon, don't get mad at me, but it's time for the old cliche.
Bring it.
Neither of these teams deserves to lose. But in the end, it's looking like the late field goal is going to be the difference in this game.
That's a good cliche. We'll let that one go. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary, but you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
Let's see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. They'll look to throw. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And now it's 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Let's go.
Back to throw. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Jeremiah Tauchu in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. And they have secured a spot in the conference championship, and now you can start to smell it at this point in the season, can't you?
You really can, because the focus has been one game at a time, not looking ahead. But when you get to the conference championship game and you know you're there, the Super Bowl does loom in the future.